Hey everybody, welcome back to some more early morning barking, talking about BPD and NPD by somebody that has both. If you like this video, please don't forget to like it and hit the subscribe button as well. And there's also some socially things scrolling past where you can share some posts of mine as well. Thank you to everybody who does that. Anyway, today is the last of the NPD markers, which I kind of thought I'd done, so I forgot about it and it was low down on the list, so I didn't see it. It fell between the seats. I'm sorry. This is being envious of others and the belief that others are envious of us, which is I think this is probably one of the more common ones, isn't it? I covered some of this in the NPD and projection video, which was about 2 months ago, I think. And I'll put a little pop-up card somewhere up there that you can see if you want to go and watch that. A lot of this is projection. But we'll get to that in due time. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, being envious of others and believing others are envious of us. This is, again, exactly what it sounds like. These NPD markers are really quite simple. And they come, for me, from a place of... they're two different parts, right? We lump them together because they're to do with envy. But they're really two different motivations behind them, I think is the best way of looking at it. The being envious of others, that comes from a place of inadequacy. That's the vulnerability. That's the I wish I had what you had. I want to do what you do, all that kind of thing. And for me, that came out in podcasting ever so much. Basically, whenever I get involved in doing some sort of creative thing, I have trouble then being able to appreciate other versions of that thing done by other people, which I think is actually something I've heard other creative people talk about. I couldn't listen to podcasts because if they were better than mine, I hated them with a passion. Right? I had that feeling of inferiority, of inadequacy. I wanted to be the best at something. And part of my delusion was that I was the best at something. So when you see something that challenges that, it just makes you angry and makes you want to avoid it. Because why would you want to confront your own vulnerability? That's not what NPD is all about. That's about that keeping that I am perfect thing going. And getting to see something that is genuinely better than you've got or you can do knocks that down like a house of cards. So that envy was again able to just stop me enjoying something or being part of something. And it also made me just an arse, really, in my attitudes towards other people and what they were doing and that sort of thing. It was a very horrible thing. Now, the envy, the belief that others are envious of us, that feeds from this belief in self-perfection, doesn't it? That's well, of course you're envious of me. I do this, I've got this, I've done that, whatever. This stretches to so many elements in your life. I mean, in work, in some field like that, it's easy for this to come out and be obvious, right? When you're doing something that somebody else could conceivably do better, it's very obvious to see that. But this thinking that people are envious of us comes from this other place of thinking we are really good and wanting it. I don't know. Did I always want to lord it over people? It is a feeling of superiority. It feeds that feeling of being special. It's kind of a gateway thing. It feeds all the other ones that I think everyone is envious of me. Of course they are. I do this so much better than everyone. It feeds it. It makes it so much worse because we think people are envious of us. In a way, I don't know if it ever spurred me on to be better at anything, but no, because that involves some sort of penetration of reality, right? That involves what I'm thinking is, if I think people are envious of me about something, and I know that that's bullshit, does that inspire you? Or would it inspire me to become better or do well at something to make that a real thing? Am I making sense? If you think I can run really fast and I know I can't, does that inspire me to go and train and run really fast so that if I ever have to, I can go see I can run really fast? No, it doesn't. It actually feeds into the belief that you can run really fast, and as long as nobody makes you do that, you're fine in the delusion. Unless you see somebody else who can genuinely run much faster than you, then you hate that person. Then you're envious of that person because you want to be able to run fast. I've inadvertently come up with a good analogy here. It kind of works, doesn't it? Running fast, that's what we're talking about. It's such a pain to live with. And like I say, it permeates everything. I mentioned work, but not just like what we're doing, but even down to what your job is. Looking down on people and because they don't have a great job or something like that. There's so many ways in which this just makes us assholes. The way I've found to get around it is, again, with most things in NPD, the key to getting around them is the realization that they're there in the first place. That realization, I'm envious of everybody. I don't really hate everybody. Everything isn't really shit. I'm just envious because I haven't done anything. And I feel bad about that. So it's coming out of me in this way of envy. And also, I want people to think better of me. And so I enjoy getting fed by that envy. And it permeates just everything. Everything. I can. It's such a. I tell you what I do. I assess people as I'm walking down the street without thinking about it. As easily as you read something, you can't not read words. It's a weird thing, isn't it? As soon as you look at writing, you've read it. And I do that with people. Is this somebody I should be envious of? And it fits in with the whole, how could I in some way degrade that person? How can I some way show my superiority over that person? And it's all people all the time. And it's such a very difficult thing to deal with. A phrase that I've gotten a lot of use out of is good for you. Or I'm happy for you. I'm pleased for you. That's amazing. You must be made up with that. Practicing these positive responses to hearing good things from people so that I can genuinely be happy for people rather than just being envious of them for having a good thing. Because it permeates through everything, it happens so often, and you can't live like that. It wears you down being that envious of everybody over everything all the time. And you can't just be happy for somebody. And, you know, this makes social media a nightmare to live with, because all anybody posts on social media is good things and happy things, and look at this new phone I've got, and look at this place I've been on holiday, or look at this car I'm driving now, or whatever. And it's all just envy after envy after envy until we can fire back with our own bit of, but look at this thing I've got, and hopefully get a bit more of that envy that we think is coming, because we think everybody's brain works like us. And if I'm envious of everything, then I really want everybody can be envious of me, when the truth is that's not how most people think. Most people see you've got this thing or have done that thing and they're pleased for you because they have that empathy, and they're not really envious of you. They're happy for you. And you can get there. You really can. But like I say, you've got to break on through, and you've got to know that this is a problem and something that you do. I think it's fairly easy. you'll know you do this one. You will know you do this one. You'll feel that burning in you whenever you see something that is something you wish you'd thought of. And how you can't let it go. It saddens you for hours. You know you do this. There's no hiding it, really. How well you externalize it or keep it in, I don't know, but you'll know. And again, I keep saying that today. Again, it's just a case of relearning, but it's a bit harder because you go through feeling it a lot. I still feel it. I still have that envy. Specifically, well, especially regarding creative work. You know, I'm noticing next time I do an NPD and YouTube check-in, we'll have some stuff to discuss on that. But I think if we come to the end of this, I think I've pretty well covered it. Anyway, I'm still going to do a podcast, by the way. And hopefully I'll come back and cover these subjects in a bit more detail and see if there's anything that I've missed. Please feel free to ask me any questions about anything in the comments, by the way, as well. I absolutely love getting comments from you all. And thank you for some of the great compliments you've been giving me. That's just amazing. I feel so bad. Like, it's really weird doing a video about having NPD and then thanking people for saying such nice things about me. It feels like a little bit, thank you for feeding me. I needed that. I was starving. If you could, everybody just tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm good, please. That's not it. This, you see? Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye.